Of the many people that we had for Make Music Day in Clarendon, one of the most important and the individual who introduced Make Music Day to DC in general is Gregory Hammond, and we're happy to have him with us here today. Gregg, it was great to have you guys here in Clarendon to support Make Music Day and to kind of bring that whole concept to Clarendon. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found Make Music Day and how it evolved to become part of your stable of events that you do every year?
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'd like to say thank you for all the effort. I mean, you put in an amazing amount of work, and that was tremendous for me and what I'm trying to do with Make Music Day. To bring Make Music Day to Washington, D.C. Was something that I started in 2015, and I heard about it. I heard that people playing in the streets and, filling the streets with free performance of music. And I thought, wow, that's got to happen here. I'd been working with guitar players and musicians doing a jam session at Meridian Hill Park, and that had been going for a while, and I thought, let's expand it. And they already had a platform. Make Music Day has been going for such a long time, almost 35 years, and I thought, here we go. This is the platform to do it here in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, did you find Make Music Day, Music Day, or was it something that just kind of came across your radar, or how did you?
A fellow musician had approached me. We'd done some different work together. He'd supported some of the music going on in my charity work that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Have you seen this Make Music Day?" And I said, "I think I've heard of that." And he said, "Well, let's see if we can do something." We had our first year, and it was small, but we had almost 80 different musicians participating in locations all through the metropolitan Washington, D.C. area.
Oh, great!
And the next year, he wasn't able to do it. His time was too short to take that on. So I decided that I would do it, and I put together a team. And we've been doing it. This was our third year.
Yeah. So in the second year, you took it to the Sylvan Theater, I believe, right?
Yep, Sylvan Theater. We had yeah, that was for the big global jam element of it. We brought in musicians, and we had our mass appeal events going on there at the Washington Monument. But we also had the tradition of the Make Music Day, where musicians were all over at different locations that are non-traditional, not your usual place that musicians have. Perform, or places that have music, that aren't usually doing that. We did that all through DC.
Mm.
But the monument was, an iconic building. Everybody knows that. So, and that stage, that was the last year that they were going to have that stage open until they finish an amphitheater. So we got a little while before we.
So it's a total reconstruction in that area.
It's beautiful. You should take a look at the plans there. It shows you.
Have they started the demolition yet?
Yeah, they've knocked it down. They started putting in there the roads. They haven't knocked down the actual stage.
Okay.
But they started putting in all of the preparation roads and things like that.
So Make Music Day is a staple for you at this point. So you have many, many years to look forward to, obviously.
Yeah, I mean...
And you've got an enormous potential with DC itself, and I know that you and I have talked about it and how we're going to go forward and expand it and hopefully eventually, well before we're gone, we'll see more and more people know that it exists.
Yep. And one of the things that we've talked about, which I think is really important for people to know, is that our dedication to the local musicians in Washington, D.C. is to make sure that when they're doing these free performances, it's free for the public, but they're not having to perform for free. So many of our Washington, D.C. musicians perform for free. They give and give and give and give, and the jam sessions are where you see that, and all of the different groups that have participated, the Saw and Archie Edwards, and so many different groups of musicians here always give. Right, and what we've talked about is making sure that they get paid, and that's part of doing the nonprofit element of Make Music Day.
So you started this nonprofit move to turn Make Music Day DC into a nonprofit, correct?
Right, we're in the middle of the paperwork. We'll have some of our first meetings, and we'll be underway in time for the upcoming Make Music events. We'll have for Make Music Day in the Washington, D.C. area, we'll have events coming up, not just Summer Solstice. We'll be doing September 15th with the Funketeers Ball. We'll have Bootsy Collins there. We will have an mid-October event with a youth peace group. And then also in December, the winter solstice, that's when Make Music Day, 120 countries, over 800 cities participate in the Make Music Day event. And that's the reason to tie together the power of music. It's a universal language. Everybody understands music. They know what it feels like, right? They know how it makes them feel. And we love music, you know.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for bringing Make Music Day to not only DC, but also Northern Virginia and Maryland. And I know that you had several performances all over the place that day. Do you want to speak quickly about them?
We were way out. We were way out by Baltimore with a cafe out there, the Teacup Cafe. They had musicians for the first time they've ever had musicians. One of the things that happened for them is they got such a good response from musicians and people coming in that they're going to start having live music. So there's the birth of some music happening somewhere. That's way up there. Baltimore will probably do it. You know, we can many different locations. We had out in Tenleytown. They participated 3 years in a row, and
what is the name of the location in Tenleytown that sponsors
Middle C.
the event?
Middle C is a music store, and they do tons of. They support a lot of stuff. They had dancers out there. They had musicians performing. They help organize and facilitate that. The main streets do also. They help out a lot.
All right. Well, good. We'll look forward to many, many more Make Music Days.
Yes.
And for events that are in one way, shape, or form associated with Global Jam for Peace.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in and speaking for our event and for your future events. Thanks, Gregg.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right.